Good evening and salutations, my patrons. Most of the other soaps have been off for 2 days. And I feel like maybe General Hospital should have took at least those 2 days off as well. Because going into today's episode, one, even before I started, I was like, what is there really to say about this episode? Like, seriously, what is there really to sit there and say about this episode? But, alright, well, I'll talk about the most interesting stuff first and then talk about whatever the hell it was that happened afterwards. And I'll start off with Christina, Alexis, and Ava. I I don't okay. She must be hella desperate to go to Alexis again to try to get her hands on this Castodon money, right? Because she's been trying and trying and trying. Alexis is like, no, stop bothering me, get away from me. What are you doing, right? Even when she walked in, it's like, oh, I don't know if this is a bad time. I was like, it's always a bad time talking to you. You know that. Like, why are you sitting there acting like like she said, there's never a good time. Let's just get this over with. Now, she tries to get Christina to leave, but Christina decides she wants to sit there and act like a brat. So she's like, all right, screw it. She's like, okay, I get it. You're not going to be able to just give me the money because you loan it to me. No. No, if I can't give you the money, what am I going to loan it to you for? I mean, besides the fact that I don't like you, no. Now she talks about how she's in financial dire with the galleries, and if she doesn't sit there and pay this property tax, she's going out losing them. And I'm kind of just like, yeah, Ava, but that seems more like a you problem. Oh, I'm lacking the money. Well, then you should probably get another job then. Like seriously. Um, Also, why do you think that she would actually want to do that solid for you? Reality, you told on her, one of getting her law license taken away. Why the hell should she bother to sit there and lift a finger for you? The fact that she actually allowed you to stay there and plead your case should have been more than enough. That was as nice as she should have been to you. And yes, just to be clear, Alexis wound up losing her own law license. But you told on her, so you screwed her over, and now you want some sort of mercy. No, 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 no. We ain't doing that. And that's what she said. She's like, no, the council is not a bank you could sit there and loan money out. Like, no. So she pleads and pleads. Christina, uh, wasn't there a point that she was not going to therapy? What happened with that? Like seriously, what generally happened with that? She was going to therapy, but she just stopped. Like what happened? Because she flips on her. She's like, you pushed me out the window. She didn't push you out the window. You need to sit there and stop saying that. I don't know if you are misremembering, or maybe you're just not there telling that lie to make yourself feel better. I don't know what it is, but you keep sitting there doing that. Now Ava's sitting there saying, well, you tripped, and that's not entirely true, right? That's not entirely true. Yes, in a sense, she did trip over the bag. But she tripped over the bag because Ava didn't push her, but she pulled her. And or reality, Ava, if you didn't sit there and touch her, she wouldn't have had a reason to back up. Okay, you grabbed her shirt and she pulled back from that shirt. That's on you because you shouldn't have touched her. So on Christina because she shouldn't have been there. Okay, there's blame to go around. But the emotional outbursts and the yelling and everything like that. After a while, Alexis is like, "No, you need to stop." And Ava's like, listen, she's being irrational and da 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 da, and she kind of is. She kind of is. Okay, and she goes to Lucky, and she couldn't find her key, whatever. But she also vents, and she goes to Lucky, and she's like, listen, it's not fair. You don't, but she shouldn't have her daughter, and I should, and da 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 da. And I'm like, I get it. This is anger right here. This is grief right here that's talking. And Lucky's like, you're gonna have to find a way to let it go, because or you're gonna have to find a way to sit there and live with it, because your daughter wouldn't want that. See, another thing that keeps annoying people is that she keeps referring to it as her baby. I lost my baby. I couldn't be a mother because of da 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 da. You know damn well that child was never supposed to be yours in the first place. Yes, you have the option as soon as they change your mind. We know that. But it's still just out of pocket every time she says that. Um, Now, this is where we start to get into a point of probably should have just took the 2 days off. Like, seriously. Because Carly is getting the same goddamn lecture from Lucas. You shouldn't be with him because he's dangerous. You're in a hospital because of him. And what does Carly do? Dumb everything down, play everything down. It's not his fault. It's Valentine's fault. It just, you got to a point where it's like, and then of course Lucas is like, tell me if you heard this one. Your family needs you. Your kids need you. Da 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 da. Let me tell you something. At this point, and I should have said this yesterday. Carly is a lost cause when it comes towards trying to prevent her from being with dangerous people. She's a lost cause. You might as well just sit there and just accept that at this point. Yeah, she's in the hospital today, and she'll probably be in the hospital another 6 months, and nothing's going to sit there and change that because she doesn't care. She wants what she wants when she wants it, and the hell with everything else that really matters, right? Like, this is part of the reason why I sat there and said that, in a sense, Carly is very self-centered. You know, you married a very dangerous man, you had kids, you knew the danger, and you signed them up for it regardless because it's what you wanted. Like, we got shot, you eventually wound up being back with him after leaving Jax or whatever the case was. However it was, I don't know if he left her, you left him. It doesn't matter because you want to go right back to Sunny, right? You want to go back to Sunny. There was a point where Mike was kidnapped. Now at the time they didn't know it was AJ. But the point is, your kids' lives is always in danger because of you. And Carly just, whatever. So now she's with Jack, and she's telling Felicia, she's telling Lucas the same lies over and over. I was going to say when I was sitting there watching them, I'm just like, yep, okay. Yeah, so that happened, right? He had the press conference with Kai and Trina, and Kai being nervous. It's a lot riding on him. He doesn't want to let down the congressman. He doesn't really know, Drew has done some very shady stuff, right? Done some very shady stuff. And the whole town practically wants to sit there and light his ass up with pitchforks. There's a point where Curtis and Trina are talking, and Trina's like, listen, Drew's not to be trusted. I don't know how to sit there and bring this up to him. Curtis brings it up to him. And the thing is, I felt like, while I understood why Curtis brought it up, I don't know if that was necessarily the time to do it. I don't know if that was the time to do it because he was hesitating even on doing the speech. He wanted doing the speech, did a lot of good for the initiative and everything like that. And Curtis is like, no, don't sit there and not do it. This is one of those times where it's like, you kind of got to work with some shitty people in order to get some good stuff done. So just be on your guard. Okay, that's cool. You probably should have waited because now he has that on his mind before he starts the speech, but whatever. Nina and Willow, again, this felt like rinse and repeat, right? Because Willow ultimately was like, I'm going to move in with Joe. Nina's like, don't do it. The kids, Michael. And of course, she's sitting there warning her away, and Willow's not listening. And after about 13 something minutes, um, she pretty much just kind of gave up. Well, she didn't give up, but Willow's like, you just have to trust me. Okay, yeah, sure, yeah, of course. So, some point when Willow leaves, Nina comes back in, breaks into the safe, looking through all the different stuff, and comes across a file. Now, we don't know what that file is. It could be the stuff that Porsche is being blackmailed with by Drew. We have no idea. But whatever it is, either she's going to find something or she's going to plant something, like Harley said. Um, there were some scenes with Lucky and Liz. If you're a Lucky and Liz fan, you like those two together, cool. Didn't really do anything for me. I can acknowledge the fact that, the actors and the characters have history, especially that being the first Lucky. So that's cool, I guess. Didn't really go anywhere. Just some flirty scenes. Oh, you should have been in the bed with me next time, or some crap. I don't know. That's pretty much my thoughts on that. Um, Lucas is not there talking to Liz about his time in Miami, meeting this guy and, being a really great guy that he grew up all over. And it's probably not going to go anywhere. And of course, Liz is like, you could always travel, right? Like they have these things called planes. You can get back and forth to Miami. You also have his phone number. So let's not sit there and try to act like that's out the question. You're a doctor. You can't afford a plane ticket. No, come on. What do you want to be back with Brad? No? Okay then. Time to move on. In a sense, I do feel bad for Brad, which is a very weird sentence to come out of my mouth, but he did sit there and tell the truth. And it sucks because it's like, you want honesty, you get honesty, and then you don't like it. It's like, then, what do you want me to lie to you? Like, I don't know what you want. Yes, he did not have to sit there and take the news and be like, okay, well, you told me the truth, so it's okay. But again, it's like, punish if you do, or punish if you don't. Because eventually that was going to come out, and he was going to want to losing him anyway. And then what would he would have said? You should have told me the truth. What? Like, really? Because I feel like that's something that Lucas would have did. You should have told me the truth. We would have worked it out. Yeah, okay. Um, the scenes with Drew and Porsche wasn't really that interesting. It was actually seemed unnecessary. Or he was not there doing, not there saying, well, when you introduced me as Drew Quarterman. The last name is very important. I mean, I despise those people um, I despise the family with the name attached to it, but, I want to use it. And I want to fight for it. I want to fight for a name from a bunch of people who I really don't like. Yep, that makes sense. To him. And of course, Ava comes in there, and long story short, Ava's like, yo, listen, you're going to have to sit there and play ball with her. Because if you don't, you're going to lose everything. You're going to want to losing your license. You're going to want to go to jail. You can upset Trina because Trina's going to feel guilty because you did this to protect Trina. So there's a lot at stake. You're going to have to sit there and play ball. Oh, and I don't remember the guy's name, but he seemed like he does not like Jordan, and he kept making jabs at Laura. First it was about the mobster thing. Then it was about the fact that she couldn't be there for the press conference or whatever, and she had to sit there and almost trying to make it seem like, oh, you got to sit there and send your errand boy or your errand girl or whatever to like do something that you should be doing or something like that. So maybe he's going to be an important figure later on. He wasn't talking to Drew. So, what they say about the company you keep. Guy comes across as slimy. Drew has done some stuff. Politicians, counselors, you get what I'm saying. Hell, in a sense, he is kind of being almost a perfect politician to some extent, you know. Not just saying every politician is bad, but you know. Yeah. Wow. I feel like that's about it. Then I might miss some more stuff here or there that I missed, but that is the general gist of the episode. If I missed anything, write in the comment section or come to the live stream tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all 5 of the shows: General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless, and Beyond the Gates. Anything that I missed, we'll talk about it there. See you in the next video.